경찰은 인질로 잡힌 여성을 구하기 위해 전문가를 부릅니다. FBI의 행동과학부 요원은 교육받은 대로 일단 범인에게 자극이 될 수 있는 아내를 만나지 못하게 한 뒤
Get out. I'm holding Ford from the FBI. Do you understand the situation? I'd really like to know what's going on in there. I promise you we can work this out.
Where's my wife?
I understand your frustration.
What do you understand?
남자의 죽음이 단 몇 마디밖에 나누지 않은 포드의 탓이라 할 수는 없습니다.
You followed procedure. You did your job. You did everything by the book.
상관의 말대로 포드는 FBI에서 교육받은 대로 일을 진행했고 그 누구도 포드한테 책임을 물을 수 없죠. 하지만 포드는 여기서 생각에 잠깁니다.
Look at the list of unprecedented events that have occurred in the past decade and a half. Questions.
그리곤 동료와 술집에서 이야기를 나누다 뭔가 번쩍 뜨이죠. 1970년대 이전의 살인은 복수와 분노가 다였지만 미국 역사상 살인 범죄율이 극에 다다른 1970년대 초인 지금의 살인은 복수심을 뛰어넘는 새로운 유형의 범죄자들이 나오고 있었죠.
Well, I couldn't explain the things I did.
Ratchet things up a notch.
What exactly is it you think they're missing out on?
We need to know the current academic thinking.
All right, I'll scratch your back and recommend funding for you to audit a few.
성공입니다. 살인범 탐구에 열정적인 포드는 상관을 쫄라 조금 더 살인범에 대한 공부를 할 수 있게 되고 한 강의에서 흥미로운 이야기를 듣게 되죠.
In other words, there are those that are born that way, and those who become that way. Personality, character, far outweigh the presence of psychotic or defective diagnosis. Are criminals born, or are they formed?
Where I come from, criminals are always born that way. Some people will never stop believing that.
지금 FBI 행동과학부에 딱 필요한 사람입니다. 단지 범죄자는 타고난다 퉁치기엔 그들이 자라온 환경이나 배경이 겹치는 경우가 많았죠. 포드가 스카우트 제의를 합니다.
I'm sorry, you call yourself a professor of criminal psychology. But you won't even talk to the educational arm of the FBI.
Sign of the times, man.
이 시기 FBI의 민간인 도청과 미행 사건들이 수면 위로 드러나면서 FBI를 안이 꼽게 보는 사람들이 많았죠.
Holden, right? Holden Ford? Bill Tench, behavioral science.
포드는 베테랑 수사관 빌 텐치와 경찰들에게 강의를 하러 다녔는데 이때 범죄자들의 배경을 강조하기 시작합니다.
And please, for God's sake, don't say we're from the FBI. Motive means opportunity. But it's 1977, and suddenly motive is elusive. We are now talking about psychology.
Monster, right? But what do you really know about him? Do you know that his mother was a jailbird and a prostitute? Yes. Now, might this not have had some sort of an effect on him?
여기서 포드가 실수를 저지르죠.
Locking him up his young life helped make his...
What the fuck?
실제 미국을 공포에 떨게 만든 살인 집단의 리더 맨슨의 범죄 이유를 환경에서 찾으려는 듯한 포드의 말은 경찰관들을 자극하기 충분합니다. 빌 텐치가 수습해보지만
I think what Holden's trying to say is maybe it's both. The one impacting on the other in a vicious circle.
Tell my buddies in robbery, homicide, who were there when the corpses were found, that they may have overlooked a difficult upbringing. How many homicides have you worked?
하필 그 사건을 가까이에서 봐왔던 경찰관까지 있었고 창피를 제대로 당하죠. 범죄자를 두둔하려던 건 아니었지만 일어난 지 얼마 안 된 민감한 사건을 예시로 든 포드가 경솔했습니다.
In the future, ask if anyone's worked a case before you bring it up.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to embarrass anybody back there. Not a problem. We're all a little tense around here. I don't understand much of anything anymore.
What's on your mind, Frank?
둘을 찾아온 건 끔찍하게 살해당한 경찰의 지인과 그 아들의 사건에 관해 자문을 구하기 위해서였죠. 경찰관도 몇십 년의 베테랑이었지만 이젠 정말 이유를 알 수 없는 끔찍한 사건들이 늘어나고 있었습니다.
What people won't do to each other. Nothing people won't do. Whoever it was made the boy watch. Vice versa.
This falls clearly into the category of lust murder.
That the killer left nothing behind is interesting. It must have been premeditated to a degree. The boy watch.
And why sodomize him?
That's a good point.
I don't follow.
All I'm saying is the broom may mean something.
What? Come on, Agent Ford. You got fancy methods?
We can't help you with this.
We need more time to go over this.
We are in the dark here. We don't know any more than you do.
분하지만 범인에 대해 추측할 수 있는 게 없죠.
In the dark, huh?
We are. Ada Jeffries and her son were killed for reasons we are simply not equipped to understand. It wasn't lust murder. It wasn't some random thrill killer who was born bad.
Fortunately, it's not incumbent upon us to write a dissertation.
Well, maybe we should. Our job is to give him something he could not have figured out himself.
이때부터 포드는 터무니없는 생각을 합니다. 바로
Just, hey, do me a favor. Don't ever fucking mention this to me ever again.
Well, I'm going to.
Because it's the insanest idea that I've ever heard. You really want to meet Charlie Manson?
Why not?
Nobody wants to hear about that crazy motherfucker. You know this.
실제 수감돼 있는 교도소로가 맨슨을 인터뷰하는 거였습니다. 평범한 사람의 시점으로 범죄자를 이해할 수 없다면 그들을 제일 잘 이해할 수 있는 건 같은 흉악범이겠죠.
You can't get to Manson even if you're fed. In a homicide situation, if you do go to Bogville, you definitely need to meet Ed Kemper.
Give me that name again.
Kemper.
Ed Kemper. The guy is like 6'9", 285 pounds. Whoa. It's a total whack job. He's murdering his grandparents at the age of 15, but then he manages to convince everyone that he's completely rehabilitated.
사람을 바꿔 조부모와 친모를 포함해 10명을 살해한 에드 캠퍼를 만나기로 합니다.
Got sick of waiting, decided to turn himself in. Called from a payphone.
A killer who can't stop talking? It's a gift.
A gift, huh?
Kemper doesn't interest you, or is beneath you somehow?
A little of both.
You're really gonna go golfing while I glean profound insights from the co-ed killer?
All right.
그렇게 해서 2m가 넘는 거구에 에드 캠퍼를 만나게 되죠.
Holden, right? Are you tired?
How could you tell?
It's a beautiful drive, but it's long. So how can I help?
Okay.
듣던 대로 에드는 차분한 모범수 같았지만
Can I get you something? You want a sandwich?
No, I'm okay.
An egg salad sandwich?
I'm fine. Really.
I'll get us an egg salad. Record didn't bother them at all. I was just too tall.
Too tall? Nothing, it just seems...
You think they lied to me?
묘하게 포드를 긴장시킵니다.
No.
I watch all the cop shows on TV. I would not allow myself to walk into a trap. Classic is talking too much about the crimes. You have to remain casual. They tried everything to trick me. I'm too savvy. I don't fucking talk, period. Why are you so tense? You're tense right now.
예리하고 침착하게 자신의 질문을 도와 태도를 분석하는 에드 때문에 긴장하지만 차근차근 인터뷰를 이어나가죠.
What are you writing down? Is this helping? Are you getting what you came for?
I think.
Good.
In this modern society, what do we do with the Ed Kempers of the world?
Death by torture? So what are you not telling me? Why do you keep looking at me like that? You keep looking at me like I'm a specimen. You know, there's a lot more like me.
How many would you say?
Well, North America, more than 35, but you're never gonna find them if they don't want you to, not even close.
본인을 포함한 대개의 사람들이 생각하는 연쇄살인마의 이미지와 전혀 다른 에드를 보고 깜짝 놀란 포드.
He's not some frenzied thrill killer, Bill. He's meticulous and highly intelligent.
Yeah, he's saying everything you want to hear, just like he did with the shrinks in the institution.
I'm squeaky clean. I'm Elliot Ness.
그 후로도 포드는 FBI 본부 몰래 에드를 찾아가 인터뷰를 하곤 하죠.
Exactly. And back then, no skirt in the FBI. No women, just men.
Wow. You take sugar?
No.
Cool. Milk.
Thank you.
You got it, man.
Suddenly it's distant.
심층 인터뷰를 위해 본인의 이야기를 꺼낸 거였지만 어느새 진짜 친구처럼 이야기하고 있습니다.
Look, mommy. You feel this? You feel it. It's all muscle. She had a very violently outspoken position on men.
That must have been awful. And? Lust murder doesn't cut it.
인터뷰를 하면 할수록 살인범이 갑자기 나타나는 게 아니라 어린 시절의 경험과 가정 환경을 통해 만들어진다는 걸 느끼게 되죠.
Well, he's got you pegged. He's telling you what he's guessed you want to hear.
Gentlemen, I'm Detective Roy Carver. I was hoping I could get you guys to take a look at something a little, unusual. 2 weeks ago, we find her beaten within an inch of her life in the doorway to her back porch. But it's interesting.
Why didn't he stab her?
Didn't have the nerve?
강의를 다니다 저번과 마찬가지로 한 경찰관이 두 사람에게 자문을 구합니다. 74세 노인을 무자비하게 폭행한 뒤 강아지만 죽인 채 그 어떤 물건도 훔치지 않고 사라진 평범하지 않은 사건이었죠.
What did I ever do? Who would do such a thing?
And you didn't recognize your assailant? He wasn't familiar?
I just don't remember. I do remember a smell, like somebody who needed to wash.
She doesn't recognize him, thinks that he's broken in, and she starts yelling at him. Careful, considerate old lady would bring her dog in at night.
부드는 상황을 가정하면 할수록 부족함을 느낍니다. 그러다 문득 나이 든 여성을 공격했던 점에서 엄마를 혐오했던 에드가 생각나고 에드와 같은 유형일지 모른다며 같이 만나러 가자 하죠.
We can talk to Kemper.
No, I'm gonna play golf.
Come with me. You could really smoke him out.
No, not now.
So, you're the big boss, right?
Maybe you could, talk about your background a little bit with Bill.
As a teenager, I began by cutting up inanimate objects. My mother would yell and scream at me, tell me I was sick. She'd make me sleep on a dirty old mattress in the basement, lock the door, 10 years old, controlling aggressive matriarchal women.
Matriarchal?
Female-centric. Get that down, that's a big antecedent. A mother should not scorn her own son. Will become hostile and violent and debased. Period.
I think we need to talk.
Now do you see?
I need to speak to Shepard. Tell him what's been going on.
차분하게 자신의 범죄 동기를 객관적으로 이야기하는 애들을 보고 충격에 빠집니다. 처음으로 살인자를 대면하고 심층 인터뷰를 해보니 정말 포드의 말대로 살인범들을 인터뷰에 잘만 분류하면 범죄자를 특정하는데 새로운 길을 제시할 수 있겠다는 생각이 들죠.
He said a bunch of extremely interesting things that turned out to be really useful.
What the fuck?
I just had this idea.
It is not our job to commiserate with these people. It is our job to electrocute them.
The conversations with Kemper shed light on things we've been exploring in the behavioral sciences.
There's a clear correlation with what we're finding at crime scenes. It proves that we're on track.
You're looking down the barrel. 3 whole bags. Censure, suspension, transfer.
Sir, permit me to speak. I've been doing this shit for 7 years. If any of this is gonna work, we need to talk to more subjects.
More? No. What's next? Charles Manson? When's he booked for?
We were thinking June.
I think it's right.
How do we get ahead of crazy if we don't know how crazy thinks?
빌의 마지막 말이 상관의 마음을 움직이고 지하에서 조용히 연구를 할 수 있게 해줍니다.
The basement. I'm 44 years old.
You may dedicate 10 hours of your 50-hour work week to this.
어찌저찌 두 사람은 공식적으로 전국의 흉악범들을 인터뷰할 수 있게 되죠. 그렇게 현재 우리가 한 번쯤 들어본 범죄 현장을 분석해 범인의 습관과 나이, 직업 등을 추론하는 프로파일링 수사 기법이 만들어지려 합니다. 이를 본격적으로 시작하기 전 누군가를 찾아가죠.
Here he is. Dr. Wendy Carr, my partner, Holden Ford.
What Kemper shows a total lack of remorse, a lack of inner emotional structure, no ability to reflect on the experience of others.
You saw this in my notes?
박사의 이름은 웬디 카입니다. 보시다시피 포드가 쓴 인터뷰 기록을 본 것만으로 상태를 분석할 정도로 저명한 심리학자죠.
You know why it took me nearly a decade to publish my book? Psychopaths are convinced that there's nothing wrong with them, so these men are virtually impossible to study. Yet you have found a way to study them in near perfect laboratory conditions.
살인범들을 인터뷰해 체계적으로 분류하는 일은 전례 없는 일입니다. 분명 앞으로 쌓일 사례들은 학계에 큰 변화를 주겠죠. 한눈에 이를 알아본 박사가 논문을 쓰고 책도 내야 한다 하지만
Publish.
We can't just circulate your findings within the FBI.
But we weren't even allowed to send you those notes. Our department head gave us weekends only and an office in the basement. We still have students, we have road school full-time.
It's a shame.
What if?
Don't.
I'm just saying we could.
Holden.
살인범 인터뷰도 겨우 허락받았는데 논문과 책을 쓰는 것까지 허락할 리 없죠. 그러던 중 한 통의 전화가 옵니다.
Got it. Okay, let me get back to you.
저번 노인 폭행 사건에서 아마 또다시 범행이 일어날 거라 했는데 그 예상이 맞았죠.
Bill, my God, we're vindicated. What's the matter with you? An old lady was just murdered.
어느샌가 죽음에 무뎌진 포드.
Not only is this exactly what we predicted, but we believe he's getting a taste for it, and there'll be more.
What are you waiting for? You got a plane to catch.
Yes, sir.
Same thing exactly. Same time of night that Rosemary Gonzalez was
Physically mature, emotionally immature, socially undeveloped, possibly still lives at home?
just came walking up off the street. One of these guys that likes talking to cops, you know?
We should talk to him.
경찰한테 떠들어대길 좋아하는 부류의 용의자가 있다는 소리를 듣습니다. 마치 에드 캠퍼처럼 세 사람은 바로 용의자의 집으로 찾아가는데
FBI knocking at my door is my only son. I might as well walk up to the freeway, stick my head under a truck, and save myself the misery. You'd think he'd be out of my hair by now. Move the fuck on, but no. Take him. Just give me a fucking moment to breathe.
A mother should not scorn her own son. Will become hostile and violent and debased. Period.
딱 에드 캠퍼가 말한 엄마한테 정서적 학대를 받으며 자라온 아들입니다.
Yeah. How come you let your mom treat you like that?
Don't you ever stick up for yourself?
I stick up for myself.
I'm sorry I didn't hear you doing that in there.
I didn't hear him say anything in there.
두 사람이 남자를 자극합니다.
I give as good as I get.
What does that mean?
You ever been in a fight?
Foreign residents can rest easier tonight in connection with a recent pair of sadistic assaults.
빌과 포드의 활약으로 또 사건이 벌어지기 전에 범인을 잡죠.
He's the modern day Sherlock Holmes.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I wanted to hear how you're doing. That's all. Sorry to hear that. Okay. I just wanted to hear your voice. Give him a kiss from Dad. I'm sorry, Ed. Do you mean that violence in the movies drove you to kill those women?
No. No, it all really goes back to my perceived inability to communicate. When you slit a person's throat, you need to cut it from ear to ear. Otherwise, they'll just be in a great deal of pain.
인터뷰의 횟수가 늘어날수록 살인마의 디테일한 이야기까지 듣게 됩니다.
If I could get a word in edgewise, everything would have been different. You know, that night I walked up to her bed. She says, "Oh, I suppose you're gonna want to wait up all night and talk now." And I knew I was gonna kill her. I was honest with myself for the first time. She wanted to destroy me with words, so I shut her up for good. Pizza. You guys.
입에 담기 힘든 범행 과정들을 듣다가 평범한 사람처럼 피자를 보고 좋아하는 반응을 보면 뭔가 이질적으로 느껴지죠.
He makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't he?
There's nothing behind Kemper's eyes. It's like standing near a black hole. You know, I've been thinking about our conversation with Dr. Carr. Maybe we should invite her down. Just for a day. To strategize.
인터뷰를 할 때마다 속이 울렁거리긴 하지만 실제로 에드 캠퍼를 통해 얻은 정보가 수사에 적용되는 걸 보니 빌도 좀 더 체계적으로 접근할 필요성을 느낍니다.
That's her. We're just this way.
그렇게 좀 더 체계적으로 인터뷰를 시작하지만 항상 에드 캠퍼처럼 인터뷰가 순조롭진 않았죠.
Monty Russell. My name's Bill Tench. This is my partner, Holden Ford.
You think I could get some Big Red?
We'll see what we can do.
That'll depend on the insights.
You really think you can get me some Big Red?
Look at me, Monty. Let's stay on track. What my partner's too polite to say is, we're talking to men like you because we can't understand how someone could fuck up their life so completely.
빌은 안 그래도 역겨운 살인자를 달래가면서까지 인터뷰할 생각은 없습니다. 처음부터 빌은 살인범들을 혐오했고 지금도 마찬가지죠. 인터뷰를 진행하는 건 단지 이들과 같은 불의한테서 피해자가 생기는 걸 막는데 도움이 될 것 같기 때문입니다. 또 산전수전 다 겪은 몇십 년 경력의 FBI 요원 앞에서 거들먹거리는 범죄자가 아니 꼽기도 하겠죠.
Let's see. Girl on her own, maybe 20, 25. Pull the gun, drag her into the woods. And that's that. Second time, this blonde chick, she will not stop with the questions. What are you planning to do? Why me?
Is that why you stabbed her?
I did let one of them go, though. It's a weird feeling, man.
What's a weird feeling, Monty?
Showing mercy.
What?
Agent Tench means
I think
is...
I've had enough science for one day.
빌 때문에 중요한 부분에서 남자가 입을 다뭅니다. 아무 죄책감 없이 사람을 죽이는 범죄자가 어떤 부분에서 피해자한테 공감하고 살려보내줬는지 알 수 있었는데 빌이 망치고 말았죠.
Maybe next time you should be careful.
Holden.
Okay, we're moving on.
So my mistake with Russell was what? What were you doing? 80? 100?
그대로 죽을 뻔한 빌과 포드.
Here's the fucking law, pal.
You can't do that. I'm
Okay?
gonna call the police.
You sure you're all right?
Is that for me? Are you okay?
I didn't see it coming, Holden. You could have been killed. And I didn't see it coming. It's one thing if it's the job, but some fucking pinto comes shooting out of nowhere.
본인 때문에 파트너와 가장인 본인이 죽을 수도 있었다 생각하자 머릿속이 복잡해집니다. 자식이 생기지 않아 아이를 입양한 사실과 그 아이가 말을 하지 않는다는 평소 한 적 없던 가정사까지 이야기하죠.
I feel like we're failing him somehow. When the car was spinning out, I just...
He seems aware of the trap of his childhood. How things might be different if he was allowed to stay with his dad.
Kemper said something similar, didn't he? I'm trying to frame an overall taxonomy, except I don't know where to start.
High intelligence would go under organized.
Low intelligence, disorganized.
But he asked for me specifically.
All three of us.
I was at a fundraiser for the university, and I was talking to some...
Yes, you were talking to people outside the FBI about something you were not even supposed to be aware of.
상사가 보조금 신청을 하러 갔는데 아무도 몰라야 할 연구를 박사 때문에 이미 여러 기관에서 알고 있었습니다.
Your research has been awarded $200,000. I'm talking about Congress having a real interest in everything we do.
Have a nice day.
박사의 이야기를 들은 기관들이 연구에 관심을 보여 하루아침에 4억 8천만 원이란 돈을 지원받게 되죠.
Hey, Nancy made me promise to invite you to dinner.
Could I bring Debbie?
Of course. Hi, welcome. Please come in.
Hi.
Say hello, Brian.
It's okay. I used to have these when I was a kid. May I?
남자친구가 평소에 일 이야기를 하냔 말에 그렇다 하는데
See, it's possible to talk about things together.
뭔가 두 부부 사이의 분위기가 쎄합니다.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing it well enough or if it would have been better for him to have gone. I just wish I knew what went on inside that little head of his.
빌 부부는 입양한 아이가 말을 하지 않아 걱정이 이만저만이 아니었죠.
It is not an easy thing to...
We're with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Can I get something to drink?
We can get you anything in the commissary.
Well, fuck you for wasting my time. Just messing with you guys.
상태를 보아하니 이번 인터뷰도 쉽진 않을 것 같습니다. 그래도 오늘은 다행히 빌이 최대한 참고 있죠.
We'll take it from here.
Yeah, Tony, I'm good.
What you discussed with us cannot be used against you in your applications for parole.
Thought this was gonna break the monotony. I didn't kill Laura Sullivan. I was never convicted of that murder.
But you confessed to it.
Nope. It was given under coercion.
You saying it was forced?
Wouldn't let me talk to a lawyer. Turned away my wife.
The photos the police found in your garage.
계속 본인이 저지른 거라 인정을 안 하자 빌이 증거들을 들이미는데
That's you in the photo.
Kemper was right. He said you guys were idiots.
어떻게 알고 캠퍼 이야기를 하는 남자.
Fucking line that came out of him.
Wait a minute. As far as I know, all his communication is monitored.
Word gets around.
Do you really think that Kemper called us idiots? It doesn't sound like Ed to me.
Word gets around. We called around. There's no evidence they were ever in touch.
Which doesn't mean they haven't.
God, if only. It's a new behavior to sort by.
You're excited about this.
I am.
Maybe in an academic sense, but this isn't only about your study.
My study?
박사는 범행 사건 자체를 인정하지 않는 새로운 사례를 만나 흥미로워하지만 빌은 탐탁치 않아 합니다.
You know, Bill, you could talk about your son.
No.
Try.
I'm not discussing my son with you.
It's just about building rapport.
Could you tell me the largest size you have of that shoe?
That one?
How about a smoke?
I want him to like me. Are you married?
Yeah.
What's your wife's name?
None of your business. Nancy.
인터뷰를 위해 박사의 말대로 최대한 비위를 맞춰주죠. 그리고 또 여자 구두에 집착하는 남자 때문에 구두도 사왔습니다.
What's that?
A reward for honesty.
Dad's a tranny? Dad's a fag?
Fuck you, man. Tony, get in here.
What are you doing?
Go fuck yourselves.
Come on, they're just... We didn't talk to your stupid wife. She hung up on us.
And you're forgetting something.
전 부인과 아들 이야기를 하자 거칠게 반응하지만 다행히 구두를 받고 얌전해지죠.
Brand new.
They're the biggest size they had.
You should have brought me a pair of Nancy's.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
One time my mom walked in on me jacking off. Came right into my bedroom. I hadn't locked the door.
My mom burned the shoes.
That must have been memorable.
She always said she wanted a girl.
포드가 개인적인 이야기를 꺼낸 덕에 남자가 자연스럽게 본인에 대한 이야기도 시작합니다. 그렇게 인터뷰는 성공적으로 끝나고
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
All that shit about his mom burning the shoes.
You're telling a private, very personal story to a murderous asshole. Jesus, Nancy. The first.
학교에서 아들이 다른 친구를 깨물어 심란한 빌. 하필 또 그때 만들어진 질문지도 쓰지 않고 구두를 이용해 인터뷰한 것에 대해 박사가 불만을 이야기합니다.
You threw our questionnaire right out the window.
Your questionnaire, which wasn't working. Where's this coming from?
I don't know. Maybe shock? At your total lack of objectivity.
Because I seem to remember you encouraging us to use our families to get to him. How objective is that?
She sounded very nice. Professional.
How much is she?
45.
I got a recommendation for a child psychologist over in Woodbridge.
If he keeps biting other children, he's gonna get kicked out. I've read a couple of books which recommend music therapy when a child needs communication.
I'm exhausted, Nancy. Could we table this for tonight?
집에 도착했는데 베이비시터의 표정이 안 좋죠. 그 이유는
She found this under Brian's bed.
잔인하게 죽은 피해자의 사진을 발견하고 충격받은 거였죠.
You know I'm an FBI agent. I work on some rough cases.
You all right? I think it's going to be hard.
Julie. Honey. Julie.
I know that file cabinet has a lock. I just have to find the key.
Why is it in the house at all?
It's work. I have to bring it home sometime. What was he doing in my office in the first place? I should put a lock on the door.
He's trying to get closer to you. Even when you're playing with him, I see you check your...
I can't get a hug out of him. I can't even get him to look me in the eye. You want to know what I do? You want to see what I work on every night? Come on. A young mother with a boy Brian's age. Killer did the same thing to him. Murdered 4 women, not much older than Julie. Strung them up in his garage.
항상 담담하게 사건 현장을 보고 또 범행 이야기를 듣지만 빌도 사람이다 보니 정신적으로 피폐해진 상태였습니다.
Remember what Wendy said about deflecting responsibility?
Say that.
Are you sure there's still something?
Holden, leave me alone.
Can you take a break?
No.
Talk to someone.
Therapist. It's not like that. He's fucking immune. How do I tap into that?
몇십 년 경력의 빌도 정신적으로 힘들어하는데 포드는 끄떡없어 보이죠.
Show them your badge. They'll be thrilled.
By your age, we can start seeing the signs. In this whole classroom, statistically speaking. Who wants to see my badge?
He has a thing for tickling.
Who does?
Principal Wade, Roger, tickles the children.
초등학교에 수업을 하러 갔다가 교장이 아이들을 벌줄 때 발을 간지럽히고 돈을 준다는 충격적인 이야기를 듣습니다.
The board questioned him. Nothing happened. Put a call in, please.
Sorry, my car's in the shop. I had to wait for Patrick to give me a ride.
Patrick?
Yeah, you know, from my psych class.
늦은 밤 모르는 남자 차에서 내린 여자친구. 포드의 기분이 좋지 않죠.
I would have picked you up.
At school? No, it's way too far out of your way. You know, the guys at the shop gave me enough grief, so maybe you don't have to.
I don't think I can not give you grief. Why is it so hard to stay mad at you?
I don't know.
If you need a ride home from school again, call me.
Okay.
Apparently some parents are concerned too. Touching kids. Giving them money for it.
He's tickling kids. That's not a crime.
교사의 부탁대로 교장이 발을 만지지 않도록 제재할 방법을 찾아보는데 확실히 간지럼 좀 핀 걸 범죄로 볼 수는 없었습니다.
This guy's a grade school principal with no record.
I talked to the superintendent. Some of the members of the school board have been complaining as well.
신입과 함께 직접 교장을 찾아가 벌로 발을 간지럽히는 건 그만하라 하는데
It's a trivial activity. Simply stopping will satisfy everyone.
I have been a principal for 15 years. There hasn't been a shadow on my record until now.
Mr. Wade, I am telling you this for your own good.
Did we do the right thing? Is this a federal issue?
Ah, Agent Ford.
포드가 학교에서 오지랖을 부리고 있다는 소리가 상관의 귀에 들어가 된통 깨지죠.
Surprise, surprise, you had my ass.
I can't imagine why you would go after a respected school principal with no history of abuse.
What if some guy were tickling Brian's feet?
Don't bring my kid into this.
Not only tickles Brian, but he gives him money for putting up.
Tell him to take his fucking hands off my kid. Just like I'm telling you to stop using him as an excuse for your unprofessional behavior.
동료들도 포드 편을 안 들어줍니다. 그렇게 착잡한 기분으로 여자친구를 만나러 학교로 가는데 모임에 나간 여자친구가 어떤 남자와 딱 붙어있는 걸 보고 뛰쳐나와 버리죠. 스트레스 풀러 갔다가 스트레스만 받은 포드.
What kind of decision?
Well, we're thinking about letting him go. Do you believe it's possible he could do something?
I can't say that his behavior wouldn't escalate to something more serious.
한 사람의 인생이 걸린 일이기도 하고 위원회의 판단에 영향을 줄 수 있는 말은 하면 안 되는데 부정적인 뉘앙스를 풍기고 말죠. 누군가 포드를 미행합니다.
You might not want to follow a federal agent.
We've been in our home for 23 years.
But I had nothing to do with your
I
husband.
understand you told the superintendent he could be a pedophile.
He'd been given every opportunity
He
to...
did nothing wrong. He doesn't sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night, he's in the living room staring at snow on the television. Suddenly people who've known us for years pretend they don't see him on the street. Do you know what kind of person you're married to?
We're not married. What did you do?
Nothing.
I'm talking to the motherfucking FBI! Relax. We only want background information.
Stick your background up your fucking ass.
Who else you talking to?
Like I said, people who've been convicted of similar violent crimes.
Them fuckers are crazy.
이번에도 범죄자가 인터뷰에 응하지 않자 포드는 해선 안 될 말까지 합니다.
Some of them look pretty good.
All right.
Originally, you told him you weren't going to kill him. You told him you were just going to rob him.
I guess I fucking lied.
Well, that was fucked up.
결과적으론 덕분에 인터뷰가 진행됐지만 포드의 발언들을 상관이나 박사가 알게 되면 큰 문제가 될 게 뻔했죠.
You might want to consider losing the tape.
What?
There is no dishonor in losing at least the first 3 minutes of that tape.
Maybe best kept off the permanent record.
Fucking Richard Speck filed a complaint? That piece of shit?
We violated his rights.
얼마 전에 인터뷰를 했던 남자가 뜬금없이 불만 접수를 하고 이와 관련해 내부 조사가 이루어집니다.
Hey, transcript is fine.
문제될 수 있는 발언을 했던 인터뷰에 원본 테이프를 발견한 박사.
Got another one. Dear Holden, it's been some time since we've seen each other. I've had more insights into my behavior, which I'd like to share with you at your earliest convenience.
요새 계속 에드 캠퍼한테 편지가 오지만 이미 예전 인터뷰로 듣고 싶은 내용은 다 들어서 무시하고 있죠.
How'd you come up with this stuff?
By interviewing Richard Speck and Jared Budos and Ed Kemper.
시간이 좀 더 지나면서 프로파일링 기법으로 굵직한 사건들도 해결하고 신문에도 나옵니다.
Daryl Jean Deviere cracks under the questioning of a new type of FBI agent.
Behavioral sciences, bright-eyed boy. People should not be reading about us over breakfast.
Why not? Is it possible that you're upset because the article doesn't mention? Hi.
Hi.
What exactly are you?
Must I be something? These past couple days, I keep thinking about when we met. You're different.
I'm the exact same person that you reeled in with that jumpsuit. Jesus, Debbie, come on.
You're so good at reading people.
When I first got here, you didn't get up to greet me. You've been sitting here this whole time with your arms crossed, which I know from you is a bad sign. Even though you knew that I was coming from the airport, you didn't bring an extra glass. You're trying to take the edge off so that you can break up with me? Let's not drag this out. I'll pick up my stuff next week. I have a message to return his... Wait, what this is about?
You listed as medical proxy to one of our patients. Mr. Kemper tried to take his own life last night.
I can't
Mr.
think
Kemper
that...
came out of surgery at 4:30 a.m. He's doing well. He's in recovery.
자살 시도를 했다는 에드 캠퍼. 근데 지금 포드는 그게 문제가 아니라 녹취록 원본 때문에 중징계를 받게 생겼죠.
Why did you decide that?
I felt there was a section that might be deemed sensitive.
What happened once you decided this section was too sensitive to appear in the transcript? Is this amusing, Agent Ford?
It might be, if it weren't so feeble. You think I don't know what you're doing with this principal's office bullshit? This is what I do with violent offenders, only much better. You see what I mean?
Agent Ford, listen to what we're telling you.
파트너인 빌도 포드의 행동이 우려되는 행동이었다 증언했다 하고
You're playing us off each other.
He substantiates our concerns about your comportment. Agent Ford, if you leave, I can't help you.
What'd you tell him, Bill?
You came.
You made it hard not to.
I read an article about you, about us, should say.
Oh.
You said we were friends.
단순한 인터뷰가 아니라 수사 기법을 만들기 위해 자신을 이용했다는 거랑 캠퍼.
Yes.
Are we friends, Holden? Especially when you've been talking about me in my absence, using what I tell you to legitimize. What's this behavioral profiling you're touting?
Based on crime scenes and personal characteristics.
I love that.
We're still at a very early point in the research.
Not so early that you pretty much admit human blood is very hot.
What are you doing, Ed?
Take a closer look. Funny thing, in the ICU, there's no system to alert the guards. I could kill you now pretty easily. But even with this, I never thought you'd actually come. Why are you here, Holden?
I don't know.
That is the truth.
마인드헌터 시즌 1의 내용이었습니다. 실제 미국의 1970년대 초 범죄자들이 나와서 더 실감나게 봤어요. 찾아보니까 범죄자역 맡은 배우랑 실제 범죄자랑 싱크로율이 90%는 되더라고요. 그럼 또 더 재밌는 걸 들고 올게요. 안녕.
I'm fine. Really.
I'll get us an egg salad. Or shut her up for good. Pizza. You guys, when you slit a person's throat, you need to cut it from ear to ear. Otherwise, they'll just be in a great deal of pain.
Got another one. Dear Holden, it's been some time since we've seen each other. I've had more insights into my behavior, which I'd like to share with you at your earliest convenience.
I read an article about you, about us, I should say. You said we were friends.
Yes.
Are we friends, Holden?